Okay, 2. All right. For decades now, gaming companies have been evolving their games. They're making their games better, performance-wise, mechanically, and just overall performance. It's just been off the charts the past few years. It's been nice. And the price for these games, the AAA games, are $60 and has always been $60. It has never changed. Unless it's an expansion, collectors, defective, any type of other game, or any type of other edition of the game, it's probably going to be less or more. But $60 was the base price, and it's always been, and it probably will be for a minute. But what companies have been doing is been putting microtransactions. So you put money into the game, and they'll make it into their own currency, which you can buy items. Which there's nothing wrong with that. But what companies have been doing, they've been putting paywalls, battle passes, loot boxes. Loot boxes is the whole point of this presentation. Loot boxes is a big problem out of all of them, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Gambling boxes, loot boxes. Why is it not? Give me a second. Okay, there we go. What did I do? It's fine. All right. So let's go back to 2008, 2009, even 2000. Let's go back to 2000. Games on 64, the GameCube, the PS2, PS1, all those games. It was usually offline, single-player games. So it was the $60. You paid for that $60. Boom, you got the game. But later on, when the internet started getting bigger, multiplayer games started being a thing. And so with the multiplayer games, you want better items, you want better looking gear, cosmetics. So to get that, companies started putting in microtransactions, like I was talking about. So you can buy these items, and you can buy the items. So the past few years, they've been going too far with these microtransactions. I think that they're making people pay too much money for nothing, pretty much, just for a few items. But the problem is the gambling, the buy a pack, and you have a small chance of getting something good. That's the problem. That's the problem. Because children are getting addiction from these gambling loot boxes with... Okay. Alright, so I'll talk about the companies that are actually doing it. It's really the big companies, AAA companies, the ones that are making these games that are coming out of E3, and it's always on the front of the magazine. So I'm talking about Electronic Arts, EA, Activision, Bungie, Sledgehammer, some other ones. I can't think of. So EA and Bungie specifically are making games, but they're making you pay to actually have fun for these games. They're making you pay extra for having fun for these games. So if you want to be good, or if you want to be good online and have fun, you're going to have to put a few bucks into this game instead of, like, after buying the base. So after that $60, if you want like a decent team on FIFA, you're going to put you're probably going to put like $100 in it if you're not lucky. But games like Bungie has a game called Destiny 2 where they make parts of the game, make you pay for that whole part, but then they'll drop more parts of the game and make you pay more for those parts. And you can actually pay multiple $100s to quit all the grinding. There's a lot of grinding into that game. So if you want to be good at it, you're going to have to put a lot of hours into it. Or you can pay lots of money and just skip all of it, which people are doing, but they don't even know they're doing. They do it, and then they'll say it out loud. It's like, I would never do that, but they're doing it, and these companies are making a lot of money out of it, which is not a bad thing. But the bad thing about it is the manipulation about it. They're doing it morally wrong, which there could be a different way to do it. Cool. There you go. All right. So FIFA 2009, the first game to have the game mode called Ultimate Team, which is like opening trading cards, which has different rated characters. So the higher rated characters are harder to get compared to the lower rated characters, which they call surprise mechanics. EA calls it surprise mechanics. But the problem is, to get good cards, it's a really, really small chance to get. So kids, teens, they're putting hundreds of dollars and just to get a decent team, like I was saying before. This game mode right here, EA was already big before this, but they went from 5 billion to 44 billion. Okay, let me pause it. Unpaused. Alright. So what was I talking about? Yeah, they went from 5 billion to 44 billion in those few years, which is pretty good. So from other companies' point of view, they see this success and they run with it. They all hop on the bandwagon, and they're just, some companies are just worse. They'll just games made specifically for microtransactions, which I have a good example